Hi everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Shell. Right now, Shell is down for the count on bed rest for two reasons, but I got a request to do this little conversation bit, and it is about taking others for granted and really not appreciating the things that other people do for you. Not sure if you can hear the song in the background, but it is cherished, unappreciated. So here we go. My thing is this. There are a lot of things we take for granted that people do. We take people for granted for simple things they may do, or even major things that they do, and they may not say anything at that moment, or we may not see or feel that we're taking them for granted. But it's there, and that also goes to say you could be out in public, you can see someone every single day, and just because that person has a smile on their face and they seem cheerful, you really never know what they're dealing with on the inside. I mean, they could be going through hell and turmoil at home, but they flash a smile on their face to show that everything's fine, everything's okay when it's not. With that said, you never know what a person is dealing with just because they have a smile on their face. So you know what? You would be surprised at what a hug, a simple hello, or a kind word would do. Now, back to being unappreciated. Let's see. It could be, like I said, it could be from something major, something simple. You never know. I just feel like if someone does something for you, whatever somebody does, I'm sure it's out the kindness of their heart. If they're not bringing it back up to you, or they're not throwing it in your face, then you should really be appreciative and thankful, because you never know when you may need that person again. We take people that's closest to us for granted the most. Just because someone is our mate, or someone is our boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, sister, brother, we take for granted the things that they do for us. They don't do those things because they have to, because they really don't have to. They do them because they want to. They do them out of the kindness of their heart, not simply because you're so deserving of everything that I do for you because you're the greatest. No, we all know better than that. Half of us don't deserve half of the stuff that people do for us. Well, y'all maybe. I deserve everything. But let's stop point. Like I was saying, I know I've done plenty of things for people that really did not deserve me doing it for them, and I've done things for them before and they weren't appreciative at that time. But since it's my nature and that's who I am, and God has blessed me to be a blessing to others, I have no problem with trying to be there for someone else. But when I see that it's not being appreciated, when I feel like I'm being taken for granted and I can't get a simple thank you, or the next time I hear from you is because you need something else, then that tends to become a problem with me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that becomes a problem with. We have to learn to understand that, like I said, what people do for you, they don't have to do. We have to realize that people weren't put here just to service our specific needs. Once again, y'all, not me. I have great people in my corner, and I appreciate any and everything that people do for me. Like today, when I lay at the bottom of my steps for an hour and a half, two wonderful people, finally showed up to help me upstairs and into my bed and made sure that I was comfortable, had pain meds, wrapped my ankle, all that good stuff. So you know what? All I can say is kudos to y'all too. And I thank you so very much, because that flow was getting pretty tiresome and it was hurting, but I couldn't make it up my steps. So thank y'all. Now back to the topic at hand. I just had to get it off my chest. Like I said, taking people for granted could be anything. It could be something as simple as picking up the phone, someone calling just to check on you. But when you know that that person is down and not feeling well, do you call to check on them? Do you go by to see if they need anything? When all of the time, I wasn't feeling well and they were there. They called me. If they didn't call me, they texted me. They made sure I had anything I needed, make sure I was taken care of. But at the same time, now they're over there sick or in the hospital, and you can't take a simple couple of minutes out of your day to either stop by and visit or even make a simple phone call. People have gotten so lax these days, like texts go a long way. That is so impersonal to me. Like, I only text when I can't talk or when I just simply don't want to talk. But, you got some people that's their form of communication these days. But, I mean, you can't take someone for granted, because I can promise you, no sooner that person is out of the hospital, up on their feet, doing well, something's going to happen to you, and you're going to need them for who knows what. Anything. I mean, you could need a bag of ice and you can't go out and get it yourself because you don't have a ride. So now what? You want to call this person that just got out of the hospital that you didn't bother to call, you didn't bother to go see about, not even text, but you want to call them, hey, I don't have a ride. Can you go get some ice for me? Would that be me? I would have been like, hey, no I can't. Go get your own ice the best way you can. You better get to walking. It's December. Hope it don't melt. Bye. Yeah, that's me. Because I've been taken for granted so much by other people. You know, sometimes you tend to let it roll off your back, but sometimes you just can't let it go, which that becomes the hard part when you can't let it go. But we have to learn to pray for others because everybody wasn't raised like you were raised. So, you know, some people have been there where they've done stuff for people their whole life and they've never had to be appreciative of. Some people have been taken for granted that they just automatically take other people for granted, which for the life of me, still don't seem to understand why. But like I say, you never know who you might need, when you might need them, and why you might need them. But you continue to take somebody for granted. Me being me and the person that I am, I know for a fact I'm not going to be there very much longer. You know, I have no problem with jumping on the trampoline and bouncing. Believe that. Not a problem at all. But you got some people that don't seem to realize when they're being taken for granted, or they just like to feel needed. I'm not one of those people, and half of my friends that I know aren't those people either. That's why I appreciate any and everything that somebody does for me, no matter how minimum or how major it may be. I appreciate every single thing, from, you know, coming to jump my car off to just coming over and having dinner, having good conversation. You know, everything to me, I appreciate. I never take granted for something that someone does for me. If I could do something for someone, anybody knows me, know that I go out my way to do it. But the minute that you step on my toes and I feel like you're not appreciative and you're not thankful and you're taking it for granted and you continue to use me, all of that goes out the window. Now you're on my bad side, and you really don't want to be there. Ask the people that's there. They'll tell you. I could be the nicest person on the earth until you cross me, and after you cross me, then we have serious problems. And I'm sure other people that have been taken for granted feel the exact same way that I feel. So with that being said, you know, never take something somebody does for granted. You never know when you might need them again. You never know if they're going to be there or not for you, and it could be major this time. You know, just because you need somebody to come get a splinter out your hand this one time and they showed up, next you could need them to come pick a tree bark up off your back because you done fell in the backyard and you can't move or call them, and there was the only person you can call out to. And you know what? You're just going to be stuck back there with a tree limb that fell off the tree on your back until, hopefully, if you got kids, they seem to realize that you missed it and they come to find you. Other than that, you better pray to God that somebody see you and hear you calling for help, because you can't take people for granted and expect for them to always be there for you. Trust and believe that. If you don't believe nothing else I tell you, believe that. Well, conversation with Shell coming to an end. Plus, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Pain meds need to kick in. My ankle is kicking my butt and I need to go to sleep. I love you all. Until the next conversation, keep the inboxes coming. Keep the ideas coming. I will do better at getting my point across, even if I have to start writing it down and memorizing it. But in the meantime, conversation with Shell is coming to an end. Good night. I love you all. Sweet dreams.